Today, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about heating your shop so that you can keep woodworking all year long.
Winter is coming.
I'm also going to compare cost differences between different types of heating systems, and I'll tell you what I use in my shop. Spoiler alert, electric heating is a lot cheaper than you think. One of the most important things you can do to climatize your shop is the insulation. It'll help keep your shop warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer just due to the insulation alone. Insulating a 2-car garage, for example, can cost anywhere from $600 for a DIY option to roughly $6,000 for professionals if you're getting ripped off. I insulated the walls of my 3-car garage using rock wool for about $700, but keep in mind, I still have to insulate the attic of my shop. If insulation is not an option for you, just know that it's going to cost you more in time and energy to be able to heat your shop. There are 3 popular ways to heat your shop. One is a hard-lined natural gas heater. The second is a portable fuel heater like a propane and kerosene heater. And the third is an electric heater. I'm not going to go into too much details about wood-burning stoves because while it may seem like a great idea, especially with the constant source of scrap wood in the shop, the only time you really would use a wood-burning stove is if it's already installed in your shop or you have the patience of a saint.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
On the opposite end of that is a high-tech radiant floor heating system that really only makes sense for people with a lot of money or if they're building from scratch. In my opinion, the best permanent shop heating solution is a hard-lined natural gas heater that are similar to the forced air heater used in some homes. These heaters will run you anywhere from $500 to about $1,200 and can output anywhere from 45,000 to 80,000 BTUs per hour and easily will cover a 1,000 to 2,000 square feet shop. While they do burn fuel to produce heat, they still need electric power for the pilot light and for the fan to circulate the air. If you already have a gas line in your shop, this should be a no-brainer. Eat up the upfront cost of the unit and the installation and you will thank me later. For everyone else considering this option, there are some downsides. The biggest downside is running a gas pipe to your garage. These units also require exhaust vent and an installation is generally best left to the professional. Is the upfront cost and hassle of installation worth it? Yes. If you're in a colder climate and or you plan to keep your shop warm 24/7, this will be the most cost-effective way to go when it comes to heating your shop. For the weekend warrior, even if you're in cooler climates or even in mild climates, this may not be the best bang for your buck. The second option is the cheapest, or is it? This category of shop heaters are forced air portable fuel heater. These are your garden variety phallic-shaped heating torpedoes that can utilize propane, kerosene, and sometimes diesel. They can cost anywhere from $100 to $200 and produce anywhere from 60,000 to 125,000 BTUs per hour. They're readily available at the big box store where you can also conveniently buy, the propane tanks like the ones you use for your grill. Speaking of, a 20-pound propane tank can keep an 80,000 BTU portable heater at full blast running for about 5 hours, in case you were curious. You might be thinking that, this is the best option to get started. After all, your hands are cold and you need to finish that project that you promised your spouse last year. However, there are some major downsides to these types of heaters. The first is safety. Burning fossil fuels generally produces carbon dioxide, but if you're burning propane, it produces carbon monoxide. Both of these products are extremely dangerous to human health, especially at high levels. And because these portable heaters do not have a way to have a venting ductwork or anything like that, they should really be only used in a well-ventilated space, which kind of defeats the whole point of heating your shop to do woodworking. Plus, these heaters usually rest on the ground and have a live open fire, and when you're producing a lot of sawdust that may land in their vicinity, this can also be a little bit dangerous as well. But, if you're only seeing dollar signs and the convenience factor and you're willing to brave these issues and inconvenience yourself by constantly swapping out propane tanks, don't worry. I'm going to break down the cost in a little bit of all 3 of the options that we discussed today, and you'll see why this is the most expensive option to go with. Up next is electric heating. Most electric heaters are anywhere from 3,000 watts to about 10,000 watt units, with prices ranging from $100 to about $400. If you were to compare these wattages with the BTUs that we've been talking about, 1 watt is about 3.41 BTUs per hour. So a 3,000 watt heater is roughly 10,000 BTUs per hour, and a 10,000 watt heater is roughly 34,000 BTUs per hour. While BTU output on an electric heater is significantly less than the fuel-based alternatives that we were discussing earlier, electric heating is generally more efficient than gas heating. This is because gas heater needs to vent some of the bad gases out, and along with it goes some of the heat. Electric heaters, on the other hand, keep just about all of the heat in your shop. I should also mention, if you're considering mini splits as a one-stop shop for both your heating and your cooling needs, just know that you'll need special units with heat pumps to be able to heat your shop, especially during the colder temperatures. Mini splits can generally output anywhere from 8,000 to about 12,000 BTUs and may be adequate for a small shop. For most electric garage heaters, you're going to need 220 volt power and anywhere from a 30 amp to a 50 amp breaker. For some folks, this could be the biggest downside, as they may not have the available energy to be able to run an electric heater alongside the shop tools that they may have. For a 1 to 2 car garage, 3,000 to 5,000 watt units should be more than adequate, assuming your installation is up to snuff. I have a 600 square feet 3-car garage, and I use a 7,500 watt unit that works really well for me. It takes about an hour and a half to get the shop from about 40 degrees to roughly 60 degrees where it's comfortable enough to work with a sweatshirt. Keep in mind, my attic is still not yet insulated, and neither are my garage doors. So really, this is kind of the worst-ish case scenario, and I anticipate that we'll get much better efficiency once everything is properly insulated. I am mostly in my shop during weekends and sometimes after work hours, and I would estimate that my utility bill is about $40 to $50 higher per month. With better insulation, my heating bill would probably come down closer towards $25 to $30 in excess per month. Alright, so let's talk about costs. I hope my heating costs provided you a kind of a rough estimate of what you can expect. But of course, anecdotal numbers like mine are very situation dependent. So if you're wanting to compare all 3 of the heating options that we discussed and their relative costs, how would we go about that? Well, in order to make a comparison of that nature, we first need to make a couple of assumptions. We need to assume that the hardline gas heater uses natural gas with national average price of 95 cents per 100 cubic feet, or that CCM number that you might notice on your gas bill. For the portable heater, we must assume the usage of the 20-pound propane tanks at $20 per refill, and we're going to discount the cost of the actual empty unit because they're perpetually reusable. And finally, for the electric heater, we're going to assume the national average cost of electricity, which is just a little over 10 cents per kilowatt hour. With those assumptions being made, to produce 100,000 British thermal unit, or BTUs of heat, natural gas heaters will cost you 92 cents, propane heater will cost $4.64, and electric heating will cost you $3.09. And just for fun, with extrapolation and some questionable napkin math, for a 10-hour winter day in my shop with the current level of insulation, that would equate to about $1.40 with a natural gas heater, $7.05 with propane heater, and $4.69 with an electric heater. I hope this helps you decide which type of heating option is the best choice for your shop. If you're getting an electric heater, just make sure you get one with a remote. You'll be surprised how useful that is. But that's all for me, guys. I hope this information was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.